All right, buddies, let's begin, shall we? Cool. So now next part would be the tax rates. Tax rates would be an important point now, which we'll have to do. Okay. One second. One second. Okay. So let's begin. Come to the notes, guys. The tax rates. Here only we can check. So there's one change you need to make here. This assessment here is wrong. Typo error. Page A5. Tax rates of tax. Tax for individuals, HUF, AOP, BOI, artificial juridical person, etc. In case of individuals, both men and women, Hindu undivided family, AOP, BOI, artificial juridical person, slab rates for assessment year 24-25. Was a typographical error, so please change that. Assessment year 24-25 are as under. So guys, this you know, these are always have been the slab rates. You already know it is the same slab rates which are continuing. Up to 2,50,000 rupees, basic exemption limit nil. 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, it is 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. Above 10 lakh, 30%. These are the slab rates which you studied in Inter also. So it's the same. Of course, when you studied in Inter, maybe the rates would have been different, but here it is this is what it is. This is in case of individuals, both men and women. So if you see 2 lakh, if I am earning anything, let's say 12 lakh rupees, up to, what do you say, 2,50,000, nothing, nil. 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, that is for 2,50,000 rupees, it is at 5%. So 5% of 2,50,000 is 12,500. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, for that 5 lakh rupees, it is 20%. It is 1 lakh. So it is that 1,12,500. Above 10 lakh, it is 30%. So above 10 lakh is what? 2 lakh extra. So that 2 lakh, it is how much? 30%. So 2 lakh into 30% is 60,000 rupees. So 60,000 plus 1,12,500. So always remember, anything more than 10 lakh, no. Always remember, up to 10 lakh, anyway it is 1,12,500. 1,12,500. So 1,12,500 plus this one. Right? Then apart from that, you need to add education cess, surcharge, etc. So generally the income, what would be the entire structure? So let's see the structure. I mean, this part I'll just take you to the inter portions because you would have written the structure there, but I'll just show you that. Very simple. This would be the structure, guys, just for your knowledge. If you want, you can write down, otherwise leave it. First, I have to compute the tax on total income. Overall structure. I have to compute the tax on total income. Less, there is something called as rebate under section 87 capital A. Rebate under section 87 capital A. So anybody earning income up to 5 lakh rupees, there is no tax. Right? Up to 5 lakh, there is no tax. Rebate is like a cashback. Rebate is like a refund. So tax on total income, you will take something less. Rebate under section 87 capital A. Then whatever amount you get, you will add something called as surcharge. What is surcharge? Surcharge is a tax on tax. For people who are above an income bracket, income tax department deems it fit to charge something called as surcharge for them. Tax on tax. So that surcharge portion will be added there. If you see the preamble of the preamble means initially what the law actually means, or what is the intention of law is called the preamble. If you see the preamble, an act to consolidate and amend the law relating to income tax and super tax. Super tax means surcharge. Tax on tax is called super tax. Earlier there used to be called something called wealth tax, and wealth tax was abolished. And now what has come in place of that, of course, is your surcharge. When I was doing CA in 2012 was my attempt. That time the wealth tax, I think 20 marks used to come in wealth tax. So 80 marks income tax, that had portions of international tax, also basics, that's some 20 marks. And then some 20 marks or 30 marks, or maybe 20 marks for sure, was Wealth Tax Act. Wealth Tax Act was abolished. Right, so super tax means what? Surcharge. So Virat Kohli, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, all these people pay tax on tax. That is called surcharge. That also we'll discuss now. So income tax and super tax. Got it? So coming back to the structure, my dear buddies, tax on total income you will compute based on the slab rate. So then you subtract rebate. Rebate only if your income is 5 lakh, only rebate will come. Otherwise no rebate. Add to that what? Surcharge. Again add what? Health and education cess. At what percent? 4% you will add. You will get the total tax liability. Health and education cess was introduced by Chidu Mama, Chidambaram, Lungi man I call him, Veshti man. Always he'll be in white color Veshti and white color shirt, t-shirt. Shirt, not t-shirt. Yes, so he introduced this cess. Cess is generally taken, it's a tax taken for a specific purpose. And here it is taken for what? Health and education. So that money that you pay 4% on the amount will be used for this. So basically tax is first, surcharge is on the tax, and after everything you add tax and surcharge on that 4% is what? Health and education cess. Then it will give me my total tax liability. I will round it off to the nearest 10. This is a rounding off thing. Tax will always be rounded off to nearest 10. Income also will be rounded off. Tax also will be rounded off to nearest 10. So if my tax is 11,916 rupees, 11,916 rupees means 11,920. If it is 11,913, then it is 11,910. It is rounded off to the nearest 10. Got it? Tax on total income, less rebate, add surcharge, add health and education cess at 4%, will give me my total tax liability. Fair enough. So Nirmala madam had told that if your income is 5 lakh rupees, let's say your income is exactly 5 lakh, up to 2,50,000 anyway nil. 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, how much would you have paid tax? 12,500, you would have paid anyway 5%. Nirmala madam said, if your income is 5 lakh rupees, I will give you like a cashback offer, immediate instant discount. Discount coupon you will put now. That rebate is like discount coupon. Discount coupon of either 12,500 or the amount that you calculate, whichever is less. So in this example, income is exactly 5 lakh. So how much? 12,500, all 12,500, whichever is less, 12,500. If your income is 4 lakh, 2,50,000 to 4 lakh is what? 1.5 lakh. 1.5 lakh into 5%, 7,500 rupees. Your tax is 7,500. What is that instant discount? 12,500 or 7,500, whichever is less. Which is less? 7,500. 12,500 or 7,500, whichever is less. Which is less? 7,500. Got it? That is called rebate. Rebate is like instant discount. This is the slab rate. Guys, up to 2,50,000, nil. You have to remember this. 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. Above 10 lakh, 30%. If you are a Tata fellow, Tata means what? 60 years and above, senior citizen. If you are a senior citizen, but less than 80 years at any time. Above 60, less than 80 at any time. Then the slab rates are as under. Up to 3 lakh rupees, basic exemption limit nil. 2 lakh 50 has become 3 lakh, that's all. Three lakh to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. Above 10 lakh, 30%. So 3 lakh to 5 lakh. Instead of 2 lakh 50 to 5 lakh, it becomes 3 lakh to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. And above 10 lakh, 30%. So up to 3 lakh, it will be called as a basic exemption limit. Very simple. So it's the same, only 50,000 rupees extra. If you are a Tata, 60 years and less than 80 years. In case of 80 years and above, very senior, Super Tata is. Super Tata fellow, Super Party, Super G. Super G, how much will it be? So this is what? Tata. Tata fellow. This is what? Super Tata. The Super Tata, he'll wear Superman chaddi. Super Tata, no, that's right. Super Tata, correct. Super Tata, how much? Up to 5 lakh. Basic 5 lakh here, 5 lakh. So basically this slab is gone for them, full. Remaining 5 to 10, 20%, above 10 lakh, 30%. Very simple, guys. So normal individuals, both men and women. Resident individuals, 60 years and above, less than 80 years. Resident individuals, 80 years and above, Super Tata fellow, at any time during the previous year. Slab rates are up to 5 lakh, basic exemption limit nil. 5 to 10, above 10. 5 to 10 is 20%, above 10 is 30%. On the other hand, up to 3, basic exemption limit, 3 to 5, 5%, 5 to 10, 20%, above 10, 30%. Then here, same, up to 2 lakh 50, basic exemption limit, 2 lakh 50 to 5 lakh, 5%, 5 to 10, 20%, above 10 lakh, 30%. So guys, when I showed you this now, the tax on total income, etc., you will compute the tax after you do your deductions that you know, right? So let me show you the structure. This is the structure. This, did you copy? Do one thing, you can copy this. Don't write all these things, just the main thing you copy. See, computation of total income, how will it be? Income from salary, income from house property, income from PGBP, income from capital gains, income from other sources. Whatever I get, no, it's called the gross total income. Less, what will I do? Chapter 6A deductions, then it will come total income or net taxable income. You forget about this, whatever I've written there, you please forget about this, only these things. Income from salary, income from house property, income from PGBP, capital gain, other sources. What will I get? GTI, gross total income. Minus, what will I do? Chapter 6A deductions. And then what will I get is total income or net taxable income. And from net taxable income, I will compute tax on total income, rebate, surcharge, cess, and total tax liability. So just write this basic structure. It will help you. 1 second. Yeah, there you go. Let me just, yeah. Copy, guys. Quickly. Quick. Do not write that whatever other things I've written. Don't write all those things. Just write the main structure. Done. Now down also I'll put here. This also it copy. So the total income is also rounded off to the nearest 10. And the tax also is rounded off to the nearest 10. Are we done, buddies? Okay. Cool. That's it. So now, guys, so if you see here, no, less chapter 6A deductions. Chapter 6A deductions means what? Your ATC, ATD, ATE, all these things. If you invest in life insurance premium, if you invest in, what do you say, other areas, if you invest in a house, then net principal you will get your portion. People, youngsters nowadays, they went to finance ministry and said, Madam, after all, if I do everything also, maximum you are giving me 1.5 lakh rupees deductions. In that 1.5 lakh deduction, okay, even if I'm in the higher bracket, 30% tax savings also if I take 45,000. That same money, instead of investing so much money and getting 1.5 lakh deduction, and on which 30% tax I'm saving, instead of that, I'm investing the same money somewhere else, whereby I'm saving more there actually. So please don't give me this nonsense chapter 6A and all those things, and try to make a different taxation point for us whereby we don't have to pay so much tax. Give me a different slab rate. Give me a different slab rate was what was told by many people to Nirmala Madam. So in the year 21-22, if I'm not wrong, assessment year 21-22, Nirmala Madam came out with a brand new tax regime called as an alternate tax regime under 115 BAC. Under 115 BAC. Come to the notes. I'll show you which one. Come to page U1. Alternate tax regime. Got it? U1. Under section 115 BAC provides for an alternate tax regime for individuals and HF. Under this optional tax regime, there is no difference between a resident and non-resident individual, that we'll see. Okay? Alternate tax regime. So here we saw normal tax regime, resident. Then we saw less than 60, 60 to 80, more than 80, here nothing. No tata, super tata, nothing. As one slab rate. So rather than making it into 3 slabs, that is what, up to 250, 250 to 5, 5 to 10, about 10. He split that into various parts, and then she told, progressively I'll tax you for a lesser amount. But the beauty is, because I am taxing you lesser amount here, and tax rates also slowly increasing, I will not give you the benefit of chapter 6A deduction. They said, okay, I don't want chapter 6. I am telling you that only I don't want chapter 6. I will follow this regime. So these are the rates, guys. No need to remember this, I'll tell you why. No need to remember this. Do not remember, no need. I'll tell you why. That's why I'm telling you, I did not make the changes in the notes deliberately because I wanted to make you right. My marketing team came and told, sir, if you don't make the changes, people do not buy the books. I said, I don't want to sell the books. If you see on my website also, books are not listed. I don't want to sell the books. Only books I don't want to sell. If you want to come and take my classes, because there I'll explain the why for everything. And if anybody wants the books also, we'll tell them, boss, the amendments are not there. Amendments I'll give you separately. You make the changes. That's up to you. I do not want to sell only books because I want people to understand the law. Those of you who know me, you all know that we are not in it for the money here. It is true passion. That doesn't mean we are doing charity, but it's always reasonable. Right? My thinking process is different. It's not about the money actually. It's about delivering knowledge whereby tomorrow I get messages from people who say, sir, I'm a CA now and I'm able to decode any Bear Act because of whatever we learned in class. I said it's not because of me. I just showed you the way. It is your own interest. I have trained thousands of students, but only few people message, which means you have that interest to actually go ahead and check the same thing. Right? It's nice. So you see, what did she do? There, what was the scene, guys? 2 lakh 50, then 2 lakh 50 to 5 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh. Now you see, 2 lakh 50, 2 lakh 50 to 5, 5 to 7 and a half, 7 and a half to 10, 10 to 12 and a half, 12 and a half to 15, above 15. She changed it and 5% she kept on increasing. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Tata, Super Tata, everybody same. No change. No change. And in the normal regime, surcharge, no, super tax. We'll come to this later, but the super tax concept for above 5 crores, 37% is what the super tax you have to pay. Crazy. This is in the normal regime, which means the maximum rate of tax an individual would pay would be like this. Like Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Virat Kohli, maximum how much they'll pay? First of all, they pay 30%. On that, they pay 37% charge. Obviously, their income will be more than 5 crore. What is 37% of 30%? This comes up to 11.1%. So 30% plus 37% of 30% is 11.1%. That is 41.1%. And in 41.1 plus 4% cess, if you add, it will come up to 42.744%. A person who is earning more than 5 crores, etc., is paying how much, guys? 42.744% tax. Actually, this is called as maximum marginal rate, MMR. Maximum marginal rate. The highest tax paid by a person in the highest tax slab with the highest surcharge, maximum amount is paying how much? 42.744%. So if you see here, that part is given here, check. Page A4. 744 it should be. Typo, change it. Individual pays how much? 42.744. Like that for others are also there, depending on the surcharge rates, etc. 42.744%. Deadly. So if you earn 100 rupees, 42 rupees Nirmala madam will take without doing anything. Plus GST, in that income GST also will go. No, we have to pay GST for bloody every damn thing. 18% gone there. So roughly 50-60% we pay tax, to be honest with you. Direct tax 42%, indirect tax 18%. That's from income only it's going, no? We are left with what? Sir, 40%, sir. I earn 100 rupees, 60 rupees, Nirmala aunty, one hand 42%, other hand 18%. Okay, let's take, we are all chaprasi fellows. We are not Virat Kohli. Normal chaprasi fellows also 20-30% gone, no? 30% gone there, 18% service tax, GST gone, 50% gone, swaha. So government is an equal partner in our income without doing anything. Think about it. That is why tax evasion happens. Because I will ask you, what are you doing for me, bro? The one-sided relationship, toxic relationship with government, with our country. Understood? Now, why I am telling you all this, there is a reason. Come to the same alternate tax regime, U1. 37%, all those things are there. Then rebate also, 87A, 5 lakh. Then you see, you cannot claim any chapter 6A deductions, my dear friends. Deductions under ATC to ATU are not at all permitted. And some other deductions you cannot claim in your PGBP that you leave. Got it? So there was a crop of people who said, Madam, for me this is only better. I don't want a stupid ATC. I don't want only. I don't want your savings based anymore. I'm a risk. I'm not a risk averse person. I'm a risk taker. I don't want that life insurance, all that nonsense. I'll take a small one. I don't want the deduction. Instead, you give me this differential slab rates. The gist of the story, this was the slab rate. Surcharge still remained 37% only. Rebate was for 5 lakh. All that was the same. 12,500 rupees. Same thing. Same thing. MMR also same thing only. 42.744% only. Because here also 30% is there, no? But instead of 10 lakh, anybody earning above 15 lakh. So if I am earning 5 crore and I go for this alternate tax slab regime, my MMR will be 42.744%. Everybody understanding, guys? All of you with me? Thumbs up, yes or no? Come on. I cannot see you guys, so I don't know. I hope you are getting it. Yes or no? All of you please respond. Good. In the year Finance Act 2023, before 2023, what was the scene? This was the slab rate. Surcharge was 37%. Rebate was 5 lakh, that is 12,500 rupees. And the maximum marginal rate was 42.744%. In the year Finance Act 2023, February 2023, Nirmala Madam came out with certain different things for this. Now you know what was there. Now what is there? Let us learn tax the way it has to be learnt, my dear buddies, not simply blindly mugging up. Let me show you the finance minister's speech.
Limit to 7 lakhs in the personal income tax. A of the Income Tax Act, allowing carry forward of losses. I have 5 major announcements to make. Forward of losses on strategic personal income tax. Now I come to what everyone is waiting for. Personal income tax. I have 5 major announcements to make in this regard. These primarily benefit our hard-working middle class. The first one concerns rebate. Currently, those with income up to 5 lakh do not pay any tax, do not pay any income tax in both old and new regimes.
Currently, they don't pay any tax. Then she said, hey, GST they'll pay. No, they don't pay income tax in the old and new regime. What is old regime? Up to 2,50,000, 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, 5 lakh, that one. What is new regime? 115 BAC. I hope you are understanding.
I propose to increase the rebate limit to 7 lakhs in the I propose to increase the rebate limit to 7 lakh in the new tax regime. Thus, persons in the new tax regime with income up to 7 lakhs will not have to pay any tax at all.
Come on, guys, what is the first change? What is the first change? No tax on income up to 7 lakh in which regime? In which regime? Old or new? 115 BAC or old? All these are important points. Yes, in the new regime. No tax on income up to 7 lakhs in the new regime, not old regime. Do not get confused. So 87 capital A, that is a rebate. 5 lakh is still there in the old regime. But in the new regime, it is 7 lakh. Do you think the other politicians understood everything? No. Simply they're banking the, the bench. So, mother, as if they understand everything. Anyway, let's move on.
The second proposal relates to middle class individuals. I had introduced in the year 2020 the new personal income tax regime with 6 income slabs starting from 2.5 lakh. I propose to change the tax structure in this regime by reducing the number of slabs to 5 and increasing the tax exemption limit to 3 lakhs. The new tax rates are 0 to 3 lakh, nil. 3 to 6 lakhs, 5%. 6 to 9 lakhs, 10%. 9 to 12 lakh, 15%. 12 to 15 lakhs, 20%. And above 15 lakhs, 30%. This will provide major relief to all taxpayers in the new regime. An individual with an annual income of 9 lakhs will be required to pay only 45,000 rupees. This is only 5% of his or her income. It is a reduction of 25% on what he or she is required to pay now. That is 60,000. So in the place of 60,000, it is now only 45,000. Similarly, an individual with an income of 15 lakh rupees would be required to pay only 1.5 lakh or 10% of his income or her income, a reduction of 20% from the existing liability of 1,87,500 rupees.
So guys, what's the second change? The slab rate that you saw, 2,50,000 to 3 lakh, 3 lakh to that has been changed to what? Up to 3 lakh, nil. This is in the new regime. Up to 3 lakh, nil. Then 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 15, above 15. We'll see the slab rates, don't worry. That's the second change. Right? First change is what? Rebate has been increased to 7 lakh in the new regime. Second change is what? Change in the slab rates in the new regime. Then she told in the new regime only, old rates versus new rates, you'll be saving some 15,000 rupees. All that she told, that you leave. So that's the second change. Got it? Next, moving on.
My third proposal is for the salaried class and the pensioners, including family pensioners, for whom I propose to extend the benefit of standard deduction to the new tax regime. Each salaried person with an income of 15.5 lakh rupees or more will thus stand to benefit by 52,500 rupees. My fourth announcement in personal.
See, third one is useless, leave it. That is your standard deduction. Standard deduction was 50K. Now she made 52,500 in the new regime. Standard deduction is what? Your intra-head reduction. This is in the salary chapter. So that you can leave now. Next.
Income tax is regarding the highest tax rate, which in our country is 42.74%.
We just did that. 42.74% is the highest tax rate, also called the maximum marginal rate MMR. How did it come? 30% plus 37% of 30% plus 4% on that, 42.744%. So that's what she is also telling. Highest tax rate is 42.744%.
This is among the highest in the world. I propose to reduce the highest surcharge. Rate from 37% to 25% in the new tax regime.
What has she done, guys? Highest tax rate of 37% is reduced to 25%. Highest surcharge rate of 37% is reduced to 25%. 25%. In which regime? New or old? In which regime? New or old? Yes, in the new regime. In the new regime. So now, what would be the highest tax rate in the new regime? 30%. Plus, instead of 37%, it would be 25% of 30%. So 25% of 30% is how much? 7.5%. So 30% plus 7.5% is how much? 37.5%. And on that 4% cess. On that 4% cess. Got it? 30% is the highest tax rate anyway. On that, how much is she telling? I'm reducing it to 25%. So how much will it come up to? 37.5. And on 37.5, what will I do? 4% cess, which will come up to actually 39% now. From 42.744%, it has come down to 39%. But the catch here is, it is only in the new regime, not in the old regime. Hope you got it. Let's listen in.
This would charge. I propose to reduce the highest surcharge rate from 37% to 25% in the new tax regime. This would result in reduction of the maximum rate. This would result in the reduction of the maximum tax rate to 39%. Lastly, the limit.
Magic. How is 39%? We told no. 30% plus 25% surcharge on 30% will be 7.5%. 37.5% into 4% cess will be giving me 39%. Everybody with me? Everybody with me? Yes or no? Are you understanding the words of Nirmala Madam? February month is proposing. I propose. Are you understanding, guys? So many proposals she made. Yes, perfect. So if we analyze like this, the budget, it will become very, very easy for us. Let's listen in again, the remaining part.
Of 3 lakh rupees for tax exemption on leave encashment on retirement of non-government salaried employees was last fixed in the year 2002, when the highest basic pay in the government was only 30,000 rupees per month. In line with the increase in the government salaries, I am proposing to increase this limit to 25 lakh rupees. We are also making We are also making the new income tax regime as the default tax regime. However, citizens will continue to have the option to avail the benefit of the old tax regime. Apart from these, I'm also
Deadly point. Last one was deadly point. What was the last one, guys? Yes, come on. I hope you understood. What was the last one? She said the default regime. This one. 115 BAC is the default tax regime. Is the default tax regime. And what would be the slab rates? Slab rates have changed. So guys, first change, that highest slab rate of 37% is now surcharge is now 25%. Second one, maximum marginal rate of 42.744% has now become 39%. Third one, rebate which was there for 5 lakh rupees, under the new regime it is 7 lakh rupees. Means up to 7 lakh, no need to pay tax. If you are earning more than 7 lakh, it's not some slab rate. If you are earning more than 7 lakh, you have to pay tax. There's no rebate. Fourth important change, slab rates have changed. Everybody got these changes? First change, 37% is shifted to 25 only in the new regime. Second one, 42.744 has become 39% obviously because of that. Then rebate 5 lakh has been increased to 7 lakh only in the new regime. Next, slab rate. Slab rate has changed. What is the slab rate now? So now you can copy this, guys. What is the new slab rate, my dear buddies? New slab rate. There you go. Copy. Up to 3 lakh, nil. 3 lakh to 6 lakh, 5%. 6 lakh to 9 lakh, 10%. 9 lakh to 12 lakh, 15%. 12 lakh to 15 lakh, 20%. Above 15 lakh, 30%. So the old one you can scratch it out. This is in that alternate tax regime. The old one you can scratch it out and write down the new one. This is exactly why I did not give the changes. There are very few changes, but I did not give the changes because I wanted you to write down and understand. Now you will never forget it. Surcharge has become 37% to 25%. We'll write down that also. Just write down the default slab rates. Up to 3 lakh nil. Very, very important for May 24, November 24. Up to 3 lakh nil. 3 lakh to 6 lakh 5%, 6 lakh to 9 lakh 10%, 9 lakh to 12 lakh 15%, 12 to 15 20%, above 15 30%. Old slab rates are still existing. When I say old, I'm talking about normal. Up to 2 lakh 50 nil, 2 lakh 50 to 5, 5 to 10, above 10. 5 to 10, above 10. Got it, guys? Yes, budget 23 is previous year. Budget 23 is previous year 23-24. So in our notes here, this one. And next, here you change. You will not forget at all what is the next change here in the notes. When you make the change, you will know, okay, this is the amendment I should keep in mind. This one, this one, this one. 25%. This one. So if you see, if you think about it, here 25,000, income does not exceed 7 lakh. Income does not exceed 7 lakh. Third one. Why? 0 to 3, nil. 3 to 6 is how much? See? 0 to 3, nil. 3 to 6, 5%. 3 lakh into 5%. How much is 3 lakh into 5%? 15,000. And 6 lakh to 9 lakh is 10%. So on that extra 1 lakh rupees, if I am taking 7 lakh, extra 1 lakh rupees, 10% is 10,000 rupees. So 15k plus 10k, 25,000 rebate you will get. Or if it is lesser income, 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, then whatever lesser income. That's why, guys, come back to this. 25,000 or 100% income tax rebate, whichever is lower. Total income does not exceed 7,000. Then you can say MMR is not 42.744%. For this regime, it will be 39%. 30% plus 37% plus 4%. 30% plus 37% plus 4%. We'll make it 39%. We'll make it 39%. Got it, guys? Other things of this tax regime we'll see later, but this is the most important thing. So in the exam, if nothing is given, I should follow which tax regime? I should follow the new tax regime. The default regime itself will be the new tax regime. So if I take, for example, an income of 9 lakh, if I take an income of 9 lakh, in the old regime, 0 to 2.5 lakh, nil. 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh, 12,500, right? And 5 lakh to 10 lakh is there, no? So 4 lakh, on the remaining 4 lakh extra, 20% will become 80,000 rupees. Totally, I would have paid 92,500 rupees. But in the new regime, think about it, 0 to 3 lakh, nil. 3 lakh to 6 lakh, 5%, 15,000. 6 lakh to 9 lakh, 10%, 30,000. Here it will become 45,000. So what is better? New tax regime only is better, assuming everything else remains the same. Assuming everything else remains the same. Then I'll give you time to write this down. New versus old. New versus old. Rebate 87A still remains 5 lakh. Rebate 87A 7 lakh. Slab rate, resident, non-resident, resident tata, resident super tata. Here it is For resident, non-resident, Tata, Super Tata, everyone it's the same. 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 15, greater than 15. MMR, 42.744% because of 37% surcharge. MMR, 39% because of 25% surcharge. Fourth one, optional regime. This is the default regime. If question is silent, if a question is silent, I will use the default tax regime. Everybody with me? Fist pump, yes or no? I'll give you time to write this down, but did you understand? Yes or no? Everybody, come on. Good, good. Yes. Copy, guys. This 9 lakh you first copy. New versus old. Then I'll show you the other one. This you copy first. This is an income of 9 lakh. Everything remains the same. Which is better? New or old? New is better. Why? 45,000. Old is how much? 9 to 5. I have not taken surcharge and all. Normal tax. Surcharge will not come anyway. And I have also not taken education cess. That's immaterial. This only will come. Write down. This new versus old. Write down. Got it, guys? All done? Super. Yeah, so that is the thing. Actually, these things are all basics in CA Inter, but we know how we have studied CA Inter, deemed to have studied, yes or no? So that's why we are doing it more in depth, because it's all like predominantly CA Inter syllabus. Okay. Our Q&A vault also you have here, guys. So all these things are there. And one more thing in the normal rates here. So average tax rate is one more concept, page A4. Average tax rate. What is average? Very simple. The tax that I pay divided by the, what do you say, total income of the individual. So for example, for an income of 5,50,000, if I am paying 23,400 tax, what is the average tax rate? 23,400 divided by 5,50,000. As simple as that. It will come up to 4.25%. That's called as the average tax rate. That is completely different. Right. So apart from that, once they can ask you, I mean, in the old regime, they can ask you one question where a 65-year-old Tata, 65-year-old Tata is earning 9 lakh rupees. So what would be the basic exemption limit for this guy? And let's say he's living in London. 65-year-old Tata living in London, 9 lakh rupees. Old regime, old regime. So what is the basic exemption limit for him? Basic exemption limit, answer. 65-year-old Tata fellow. Yes, very good. It is 2 lakh 50 only, my dear friends, because this is the key words here. Resident individual, resident individual. Only for resident individuals. For non-resident Tata here, non-resident Tata, non-resident Super Tata, it's the same. For non-resident Tata, non-resident Super Tata, this will be the same. What will be the same? The basic exemption limit will be 2 lakh 50 only. Good. Rebate, we have done all this. One more change you need to make, page A8. This is previous year 21-22. Previous year 21-22. Now, guys, if I was born on, let's say, 1st April 1963, or 1964. If one fellow is born on 1st April 1964, on 1st April 2024, he will turn 60 years. This falls under previous year 24-25, or I can also say assessment year 24-25 also. Is assessment year only, no? This is previous year 24-25 also, or you leave this. This actually falls under assessment year 24-25. I am doing the assessment of 1st April 23 to 31st March 24, but my birthday is on 1st April 24. I will turn 60 years in the assessment year, but the income is assessed of the previous year 23-24. Next assessment year, I will get the deduction of 3 lakh rupees, no problem. But this previous year 23-24, I am actually 59. I turn 60 on 1st April 24. The question is, in the previous year 23-24 or assessment year 24-25, in the previous year 23-24 or assessment year 24-25, will I get, according to you, the basic exemption limit of 3 lakh? Assume I am a resident Tata. 60th year will be considered in 24 or will be considered in 23-24 only, or 24-25? 60th year. As per the birth date is 1st April, which means on 1st April 24, beginning of the assessment year, I am a Tata, but the income, when I am generating the income, that I am not a Tata. 2 lakh 50 or 3 lakh? Answer. Two lakh 50 or 3 lakh, friends? Come on. Some of you 3 lakh, yes. So guys, it went to the court and court said, no problem. If it is 1st April 24, let us assume the birthday is on 31st March 24, and on 31st March 24 only, we will deem him to be 60 years, and that benefit can be claimed from 31st March 24 only. That was one more thing that they told. So if you see here, A6. Person born on 1st April would be considered to have attained particular age on 31st March, the day preceding the anniversary of his birthday. Such a person would have completed the age of 60 to 80 years on 31st March of the previous year, and hence would be eligible for the enhanced basic exemption limit. Would be eligible for the enhanced basic exemption limit.